it's Sarah, and today I have a little book haul for you. It's a library sale book haul. Okay, here's what's going on. I'm trying to avoid like library sales and thrift stores and super cheap books. Here's why. We all know my book situation in my house. We all know this. We don't need to address it. It's fine. I don't want to hear it. But I have a lot of books. So I need to, I've been trying to make a really big conscious effort not to bring in a whole lot. And I really want to get to a point where I'm reading more than I'm bringing in, like purchasing. So I'm trying to keep that under control. It's going okay. I've been better. I've been much better. So here's how this library sale happened. It was a complete accident, I promise. I've been intentionally avoiding them because when I go to them, I stack up on books, and it's like, oh, and I'll get to them someday, but I'm not ready to read them right now. And I'm trying to be better about, I'm ready to read this right now, or I'm going to read it coming up, or it's the most anticipated that I want on my shelves, that kind of thing. I'm trying to be more picky. But my in-laws were in town recently, and we did some stuff that the girls wanted to do. And one thing my daughter Layla wanted to do was to walk to the library because we have one literally in our neighborhood. And she said, can we walk up to the library so I can get a couple books? And I'm like, yes, I'm never going to say no to that, right? So we walk up there and there's a book sale. I did not know that this was going to be happening. I promise I did not know. And it was happening. So of course we went in. Of course we did. I wasn't the only reader in the group. So my father-in-law's wife, Molly, she's a big reader as well. And they have a cabin that they are in between. They have a house in Florida and a cabin that they are back and forth to. So she said, I would love to just stock up on some of these really cheap books and take it to the cabin. And I have reading material there for a while. Makes sense, right? So she starts grabbing a bunch of books that she's really excited about. So I start looking. Layla got a couple of books, my daughter. And of course I found some. Of course I did. And so I did end up walking out with 5 books. Not bad, only 5. Not like a huge, I can't hold it stack. It's manageable. But I wasn't planning to buy anything, so it's fine. Okay, 5 books. I'm going to tell you what they are. Okay, the first one I got is actually middle grade. It's Refugee. This is by Alan Gratz. There was quite a few copies of this one, and I got a really good hardback copy for $1. Hello? But he writes really good historical fiction books for middle graders that are based on actual events. I have one actually on my shelf by him that surrounds 9/11. And this one, Refugee, I think, let me see. I don't remember exactly what it is. Okay, there's 3 different escapes. So Joseph is a Jewish boy living in the 1930s in Nazi Germany. Isabel is a Cuban girl in 1994. And Mohammed is a Syrian boy in 2015. So I think it's going to be following all of these different stories and how they escaped and where they end up going. Oh, this one is annotated. Like someone, oh yeah, it's in pencil. I could erase it if I want to. It looks like it's in pencil, yeah. Someone annotated this. There's a whole bunch of things that are underlined. Maybe I'll keep it until I read it, and then after that, if I want to erase it, I can. But it looks like it's in pencil. That's interesting. Yeah, someone has made a couple little notes here and there, so that's kind of cool. And then I like that it's in pencil because I can erase it if I want to later. But yeah, so definitely an author I've wanted to read from. Haven't done it yet, but now this is my 2nd book on my shelf from him, so I will not buy another one until I read them. But definitely wanted to grab this one. Okay, next one I grabbed that was definitely a no-brainer was The Woman with the Blue Star, and this is by Pam Jenoff. I have read a book from her that I absolutely loved. It was The Lost Girls of Paris. I loved that book, and so this is one of her newer releases, and I really wanted to read this one too. And so this is going to follow, I believe, a girl, I'm assuming she's Jewish, somehow, 1942. Okay, she's living amid the horrors of the Krakow ghetto. Yeah, okay. during World War II. That's something that we learned about at the Holocaust Museum that we just recently went to with my in-laws as well. And yeah, so when I saw this one, I was like, oh gosh, that's going to tie in really nicely to what we just learned about. So definitely want to get this one. It's been on my radar anyway, but good excuse to pick it up for $1. Okay, this one I feel like doesn't count. Here's why. It totally counts. It's a book I'm bringing in, but it's replacing another book. So I got The Flight Girls by Noelle Salazar. I have the ARC copy of this that the publisher sent me before it came out. And it was so early before it came out that it wasn't even this cover on it. It was a different ARC that had just like planes on it. It was a very simple, like, they didn't even have a final cover yet for the book, and I really love this cover. So I definitely wanted this cover anyway, and I'm just going to replace my ARC copy with this one. So the ARC will go to a free little library or something like that, but this one is going to replace it. So I feel like I'm just swapping it out. So maybe it doesn't count. Okay, this one I snatched up like I couldn't get to it fast enough when I saw it. It was on display and I was like, mine. It was $2, but that's fine. It's The Ichabug by J.K. Rowling. So I got it for $2. This is a heavy book. Like, this book feels heavy. I'm sure it's because of the type of paper that they use. So this is a fantasy book written by her. And this includes, the thing I like about this book is this includes artwork from real children. So children have done some artwork for this book and it's included in here. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples. Like, a child drew that and it's in this book. Like, how cool. I don't know exactly if the stories are based off the drawings or vice versa. You know what I mean? I'm not sure about that, to be honest. So I would have to do some research into that. It doesn't say in the synopsis here at all. But like, oh my gosh, look, two little kids hugging. How cute is that? So that's what I like about this book for sure. I'm sure I will enjoy the story when I read it at some point. But when this popped up, it's always been on my radar. It's been on my wish list for a really long time. So when I saw it for $2 in a hardcover, I grabbed it. I also saw a copy of this a couple days later at Target and it was $21. So deal. Last one. This is funny. This is me and Molly arguing over a book. So she had a pile going and I was kind of putting mine next to hers as well. And then I saw this in her pile and I went, oh, you found that. And I joked with her and said, you're lucky you found that before me. I would have snatched that up real quick. And then she started going, oh, well, then you take it. And I was like, no, it's yours. And so we were fighting over, like, trying to give it to each other. Oh my gosh. So she wouldn't take no for an answer. And she said, it's a gift. It's a gift. I'm giving it to you. I'm like, okay. So I totally lucked out with this one. And I feel like I stole it a little bit, but it's a hardcover of The Evening and the Morning by Ken Follett, which is the prequel to the Pillars of the Earth series, which I still need to finish. I need to read the third one still. But I loved Pillars of the Earth. I've read it twice. I loved it. I loved World Without End, which is the second book. I loved that one as well. I still need to read the third one, like I said, and then this is the prequel. I feel bad. I feel bad for this one, but I'm also like really happy that I have it and it was $1, you guys. You can't. This is why library sales are so good. But yeah, so got this one for $1. Well, I didn't pay for it. It was a gift. Molly got it for me. But yeah, so so excited. Okay, and that's it. I'm going to stop trying to rationalize this because it's fine. I will have another book haul coming up more towards the end of the month. I do have a couple things that were sent to me from publishers. I have a gift that was sent to me as well. I have a couple pre-orders coming. So I'll have another one towards the end of the month. But I did want to show you just like some library sales that I got, which is so exciting. But at the same time, I get reminded this is why I don't go to library sales as much anymore, because I will find things. I will find them and they will be mine and I will drown in my books and it's totally fine. Guys, let me know your thoughts on any of these books if you've read them, and I will see you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.